Hear me and see me, all right? Yep, good. Okay, let's start on our backs. So I want you to lay on your back and get nice and comfortable. If your lower back's a bit niggly, you might want to bend your knees. And open up your palms, pressing your palms into the earth. And take a few breaths, just settling into your yoga practice for the next 45 minutes. Is some special time for you to increase your energy and your vibration. I'm outside today, so hopefully it'll help to soak up some of the beautiful earth energy. There's lots of really good energy around at the moment, so as we soak it up during our yoga practice today, I want you to think about the theme of our practice is abundance. So bringing your left hand to your heart center and your right hand to your belly. Notice the rise and fall as you breathe in and out. As you breathe in, imagine you're drawing up all the beautiful energy from the earth through all the points of contact you have with the ground underneath your body, underneath your feet and your legs, your lower back, your spine, your upper back, and your head. Let's take 5 or 6 more deep breaths here. As you breathe in, breathing in all the energy, all the beautiful earth energy. And as you breathe out all that you don't need. So we're breathing in positivity and breathing out anything you don't need. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then reaching out your hands above your head and lengthening out your legs, and just move your toes and your ankles and your wrists in a little circle, stretching out the body, circling one way and then the other. And then hug your knees up to your chest. Have a little roll on your lower back, on your spine. Soaking up all that beautiful energy from the earth. And then holding on behind your knees and rock yourself up to sitting position. If you have a block or a blanket, you might like to lift your hips up. Coming up to your seated position. Just keep your eyes soft, hands on your knees, and moving your body in a circle. Warming up through the hips. And move it the other way. And then circling your shoulders, just giving them a nice bit of movement. And then the other way. And then we're going to go into a cat-cow from a seated position. So we're going to inhale, lift our chest and lift our gaze. And then exhale, just nodding your chin into your chest, stretching out the back of your neck. And then inhale back up again. And exhale, nod your chin in. So you feel that nice stretch through the back of the neck. Let's do a few more rounds, using your breath to initiate the movement. And then coming back to center. place your right hand next to you, just behind you, and bring the left hand over top. And then inhale to center and change arms. Just going from side to side. Giving your shoulders a nice stretch and stretching down the side of your body. And coming up to tabletop position. Opening up your palms and pressing them into the mat and taking your knees nice and wide. And let's do a couple of cat-cows from this position. So as you inhale, lift your chest and lift your gaze. Lifting your heart center. Exhale, bring your back up like the Harbour Bridge and nod your chin under, stretching through the back. And inhale, coming back up. So just nice and slow. Taking time for yourself. Soaking out that beautiful energy from the earth. Thinking about all the little spaces in your vertebrae, just opening them up. And then taking your knees wide and bring your buttocks down to your heels. Take your hands forward and bring your forehead down to the mat. Coming into child's pose. And take a few breaths here. Just notice the stretch through the lower back and the stretch through the shoulders. On each exhalation, just bring your forehead down to the mat. So we've got our palms and our forehead and our shins and our feet all in contact with the mat. Let's take 4 breaths here, just nice and slow, breathing in all the beautiful earth energy and breathing out all that you don't need. And one more breath. And then come back up to tabletop. And we're going to flow from a child's pose to an up dog. So as we exhale, we're coming into child. And as we inhale, we're going to slide our hands forward, lift our chest, and take our hips forward. And then exhale, come back to child's pose. And inhale, come back up to upward dog. Let's do 3 more rounds. And then coming back to tabletop, and we're going to move our body in a circle. You might like to move your fingers towards the center to give your wrists a nice stretch. And then turn your fingers outward, stretching through the wrists. And you might like to point one finger back towards you and have the other one out. And then change hands. And then coming back to tabletop. And we're going to go into downward dog here. So Deb, you might like to stand up against the counter, and Penny and Gilda, inhale, turn your toes under and lift up the hips and walk your calves down towards the mat, stretching the back of your legs and stretching your shoulders. Let your head fall heavy, so you're lengthening out through the spine, getting that nice stretch through the legs and through the lower back. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Coming back to the breath. And then take the feet wide And walk your hands up underneath you into a wide-legged forward bend. Let your head fall heavy. And bring your hands underneath you, pushing the palms flat into the mat. And take 4 breaths here. Again, breathing in the earth's energy through the hands and the feet. And breathing out all that doesn't serve us. And then walking your hands forward, lifting your chest and lengthening your spine. Heel toe your feet a little closer together, slight bend in your knees, and come up to standing, coming up to mountain pose. Hi, Julianne. And bring your hands to heart center. And we're going to clasp our fingers and just pull them out. Pull the elbows back. And do some circles with your shoulders. And back the other way. And then we're going to take our feet out wide and bring our arms out, coming to cactus, squeezing our elbows back. And then bring our elbows forward and back. That's it, really stretching out the shoulders. And then coming back to center. Heel toe your feet back together again. Bringing your feet and your knees together. And we're going to come into chair pose. So we're going to sit down. And you can either bring your hands up to here, or Deb, you might like to have your hands at your chest. So let's take a few breaths here, nice and strong through the legs with the chest up, arms up, or arms to the chest. And then inhale, come back up. And exhale, come back down. So nice and strong. Taking a few breaths here, nice and strong through the legs. One more breath. And inhale, come up. And exhale, come back down. Let's hold it for 3 breaths. And then inhale, come back up. Give your legs a little shake. And coming to the back of the mat, turn your left foot out to the side and step forward with your right for warrior 1. So we're going to inhale, raise our gaze, raise our chest and lift our arms up and connect with the stretch through the left hip. That's it. Let's take about 3 breaths here. Imagine you're holding up a beach ball, so you're going to hold it up nice and high. And then take the right hand forward, left hand back, gazing towards the right thumb. Nice and strong through the left thigh. Lengthening out through the hands. And then lengthening the leg out and exhale as you come down, bringing both hands down to the mat into pyramid pose. Allow the crown of your head to point down to the mat. So the right leg's straight now. If you have a block, you can have your hands on the block, connecting through the stretch on the right hamstring. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then inhale, lift up the left hand into triangle pose. Gazing up towards the left hand, opening up through the chest. Let's take a couple of breaths. And then inhale, bring your left hand down and raise your right hand into reverse triangle. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Connecting with the stretch down the back of the right leg. And then exhale, bring the right hand down. And come back up to standing. Bring your hands to heart center. Give your legs a little shake. And then we'll come to the back of the mat again. This time turning the right foot out. Step forward with the left. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your chest. Bending the left knee. Raising that beach ball again. Feeling the stretch through the right hip this time. So connecting with the earth energy, breathing it up through your feet, up through your body, and out through the tips of your fingers. One more breath. And then bring the left hand forward, right hand back, gazing towards the left thumb, squeezing the shoulder blades together, keeping it nice and strong through the left thigh. Lengthening out through the hands. Take a couple more breaths. And then as you exhale, lengthen out the left leg and bring both hands down to the mat and come into pyramid pose. Allow the crown of your head to point down to the mat and connect with the stretch down the back of the left leg. Let's take 2 more breaths here. It's nice and slow. And then inhale, lift the right hand up, coming into triangle pose. Opening up the chest, gazing up towards the right thumb. And notice the stretch down the back of the left leg. One more breath here. And then bring the right hand down and raise the left hand into a twisted triangle. And notice the stretch on the left leg. Exhale, bring the left hand down and then come back up to standing. Give your legs a little shake. And let's lift our arms up. Raise our gaze and exhale, fall forward. And inhale, come up. Exhale, fold forward again. And then inhale, come all the way up again. And on the next fold forward, we're going to come down, bring our fingers down to the mat and hold it there. You can tuck your fingers underneath your toes, or you can hold on to your ankles or your shins. Just let your body fall heavy and notice the stretch on the back of your legs. Let's take a few breaths here, coming back to the theme of our practice, raising our vibration and raising all the positive energy, breathing in all the earth's energy, breathing in lots of abundance. So let your body fall forward, let your head fall heavy. And then inhale, come back up to standing. Give your legs a little shake. From here, we're going to go into our balancing pose. So we're going to go into tree pose since we've got all the trees around us. So opening up the toes on the right foot and move your hips in a little circle. So connecting with the heel and the little areas behind the big toe and the little toe. So you've got all the key contact anchor points underneath your foot. And find yourself a drishti point. So you might like to have your toe next to your leg, next to your right foot, or you can lift your foot up a bit higher, below your knee or above your knee, whatever works for you. And then bring your hands to heart center. And let's just breathe in all that beautiful earth energy. A little bit of stillness, a little bit of balance, tuning back into our breath. If you need to hold on to something, you can. Just take 3 more breaths here. And last breath. Then release. Give your legs a little shake. And then come to the other side. So opening up the toes on the left foot and moving your hips in a circle, connecting with the heel and the little area behind your big toe and the little toe. Find your drishti point. And then when you're ready, bring your right foot up, either next to your calf or above your knee or toes on the ground. Whatever works for you today, bring your hands back to heart center. Come back to your drishti point and let's come back to our breathing. Moving your knee out towards the side a little bit. Coming back to your breath. Let's take 3 more breaths. And last one. Nice work. And bring your knee back to the center. Give your legs a little shake. Okay, let's come down to the mat. We'll come down onto our back, hugging our knees up to the chest. And you might want to rock from side to side or in a circle, whatever works for you. And then bringing your hands straight out from your shoulder blades. Keep your knees bent, and you can either have the knees up in the air or on the mat, whichever works for you. And we're going to twist our knees to the right side and look towards the left. So bring our knees nice and controlled across to the right side. Try to keep your shoulders on the mat. And you should notice a nice stretch through the chest. Just relax into the stretch. And on each exhalation, allow your body to twist a little more. You might like to use your right hand on the top knee and just draw it across a little more. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then release the knee. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Gazing up towards the sky or towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bring the knees to the left and gaze to the right. So twisting the knees to the left side. You can use your left hand on the top knee just to bring it over a little more. Relax your shoulders into the mat. And notice the twist through the right side of your body. Taking a few breaths here and just relaxing into it. Slowing your breath right down. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then inhale, bring your knees to center and hug them up to your chest. And move them however works for you, in a circle or rocking from side to side. And then place the right foot on the ground and cross the left leg across the front of the right and hug that up to the chest into a reverse pigeon. And you might want to rock from side to side. You can reach through, you can hold your leg, hold the left shin or reach through to the right thigh or the right shin. Allow your shoulders to relax down onto the mat and connect with that stretch through the left glute and the left ITB, releasing any tension you might have around the lower back. Let's take 3 breaths here. Try and relax a little more on each exhalation. And then release your hands, let the right foot come down to the mat, keep the left leg crossed. Put the right hand on the left knee and draw the knee across to the right side, looking to the left. So you just get a little bit more twist. Try and keep your shoulders on the mat. Taking a few breaths here. On each exhalation, twist a little more. And then inhale, bring your knees back to center and cross them the other way. So this time, left foot on the ground, bending the right knee and the right leg across the front of the left thigh, and then hug that up to your chest. So you might be holding the right shin or reaching through the middle of the legs to the left shin or the left thigh. Relax your shoulders back onto the mat. Closing your eyes and just taking some nice deep breaths here. Connecting with the stretch through the right glute and the right ITB. Just taking your time, slowing your breath down. One more breath. And then release the left foot down to the mat. Keep the right leg crossed over. Left hand on the right knee and draw the knees to the left side as you gaze to the right. Have your right hand straight out from your shoulder. Using the left hand to twist your body a little more. Relaxing into the twist, feeling it all down the right side of the body. Just take 3 long, deep breaths here. And then inhale, bring your knees back to center. Uncross them and hug them up to your chest. And you might like to circle them a little bit, just rinsing out all that twist from your spine. And then bring your heels down to the mat, close to your buttocks, palms pressed into the mat. And we're going to inhale and lift up through the hips, squeezing the buttocks, pushing through the heels. So you can keep your hands on the mat, or you can bring your hands underneath and clasp them together and lift your shoulders and squeeze them together, come up a little higher. And let's take a few breaths here. Feeling that stretch through the front of the hips and squeezing through the glutes, pressing through the heels. The chin is nodded into your chest. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then release your hands and slowly bring your body back down to the mat and hug your knees up to your chest. Okay. From here, we're going to rock up to seated position and come to our tabletop. We're going to come into a yogi stretch. So having your feet about hip width apart, so you can just come into a deep squat, or you can come all the way down into the yogi squat. That's it. Either way, just do what feels right for you today. And noticing the hip opening as you do this one. Let's take a couple more breaths here. That's it. Nice work, everyone. Okay, and then release your hands down to the mat and then come down to the mat, and we'll do our legs up position. So laying on your back, so you might like to be up against a wall or a piece of furniture, or have a block or a bolster underneath your lower back, or come up into a shoulder stand. So as you inhale, lift the legs up. If you're coming into the shoulder stand, using your hands to hold your hips, bring your elbows together, and just moving your legs around, moving your ankles in a circle. Give your legs a little shake. Coming back to your breath. And let's enjoy the inversion, having your your heart lower than your feet. It's great for the immunity, good for the lymphatic system and the circulatory system. Just coming back to your breath and coming back to the theme of our practice, soaking up all the beautiful earth energy to increase our vibration and abundance. You might like to take your feet out wide. And bring the soles of your feet together with your knees out wide like a butterfly. And then lifting your feet up tall again. If you're in a shoulder stand, you might like to take your feet over your head towards the earth behind your head and release your hands from your hips back down to the mat into plow pose. Just take a couple more breaths here. And then on the next inhalation, slowly lower your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, back down to the mat. And come into your comfortable position for Sabasana. So you might have a eye pillow or a blanket or a bolster underneath your knees, whatever you need to be completely comfortable to soak up all the beautiful energy that you have just cultivated. So we're going to have just a silent rest here in Savasana for about 5 minutes. Allow yourself time to fall heavy into the floor, just be nurtured by the earth energy. And come back to your breathing, slowing your breathing down. And enjoy the rest. And when you're ready, coming back to your breath, noticing the earth underneath you, noticing the room that you're in, the walls, the ceiling, the windows, stretching out your hands and your feet, wiggling your fingers and toes, and slowly rolling to your right side. And when you're ready, come up to seated position. I've got a quote for you today. Just being surrounded by nature rejuvenates and inspires us. Thank you for being here today for your beautiful yoga practice, raising your vibration and all of us and all of those around us. Let's bring our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts, to our lips for kind words, and to our heart for a kind heart. Namaste.